I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Upper Providence Board of Supervisors. If everyone would rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we need to approve tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve tonight's agenda, but I'd like to strike item number 6 from tonight's agenda.
Okay, we talked about that. All right, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda, striking item 6. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? That carries. Thank you. And now we have a new police sergeant to swear in. The chief is going to give his bio.
Chief, make sure he comes up. Make sure he comes up. Where's the microphone?
I'm just going to take a few minutes to introduce our soon-to-be new sergeant. Although he's not a stranger to our police department, he's an 18-year veteran. Eric Smith was born in Lansdale, Pennsylvania, to John Smith and Susan Allen. He grew up in the Westchester area, where he graduated from Henderson High School. After the September 11th, 2001 attacks, Eric was motivated to become a police officer. He enrolled in the Delaware County Municipal Academy and graduated in December of 2002. Eric began his police career here in February of 2004. As an officer with the Upper Providence Township Police Department, he served as a member of the Montgomery County District Attorney's Drug Task Force. He served as a detective here in the Criminal Investigations Division. He's a member of the department's bicycle unit, and he is also a field training officer. Eric serves as an instructor for the department in several different areas. He's a firearms instructor, a taser instructor, bowler wrap instructor, a less lethal instructor, and a Gracie survival tactics instructor. During his time here, he's earned a life-saving award and commendations for his roles in successful resolutions to serious incidents. In 2007, Eric was selected to serve with the Chester-Montgomery Emergency Response Team, which is now called the Montgomery County SWAT Western Region, where he's still serving as an assistant team leader. He has earned several commendations through the team as well for his involvement in the safe and successful resolutions to high-risk incidents with the team. Most recently, Eric has been serving our department as a training coordinator. He used his many years of training and experience to bring current and relevant training opportunities to the police department. This assignment included implementing the use of force simulator in the department's training program, where officers can focus on real-world scenarios and de-escalation tactics. Eric is joined here tonight by his wife, Katie, and their children, Emma, Ryan, and Madeline. Mr. Chairman, would you do the honors of the swearing in, please? All right, come up. On this side.
If you'll repeat after me. I, Eric Smith, having been duly appointed a police sergeant for the Upper Providence Township Police Department,
Eric Smith, being duly appointed a police sergeant for the Upper Providence Township Police Department,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Pennsylvania Constitution,
the Pennsylvania Constitution,
the laws of Pennsylvania and the governmental subdivision,
the laws of Pennsylvania and the governmental subdivision,
and the ordinances of Upper Providence Township.
and the ordinances of Upper Providence Township.
And I will discharge the duties of the office with fidelity,
And I will discharge the duties of the office with fidelity.
Furthermore, I affirm that I will uphold,
Furthermore, I affirm I will uphold,
obey, and enforce the law
obey, and enforce the law
without consideration to a person's race,
without consideration to a person's race,
color, sex, religious creed,
color, sex, or religious creed,
sexual orientation, age, national origin,
sexual orientation, age, or national origin,
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
Congratulations, Sergeant.
Thank you.
As you know, I'm never... I'm never brave enough to pin these badges on, so I'll give this to his wife.
We pinned his own years in prom, too.
All right, now we've come to the point of the meeting where we're ready for public comment. I will ask anyone who wants to make public comment to the board to please come up to the lectern. Please speak into the microphone, and before you begin, give us your name and your street address. And if you could try to hold your comments to 3 minutes or less, that'd be great. Do we have anyone that wants to make public comment to the board? Okay, we have no public comments tonight. All right, we had an executive session on Monday, August 9th. We discussed some personnel matters and some potential litigation. No action was taken. All right, next we have the bill list. It's rather high this month because we're beginning to pay the construction bills for the new emergency services center across the street. I assume everyone's had a chance to go through the bill list. I'll be happy to entertain comments or a motion.
I have a quick question on the bill with the firehouse. I know we got a $2 million grant from the state. When do we, so we're paying it now. Do we get the receipts and turn them in? Is that how we have access to that grant?
Yeah, it's a reimbursement-style grant, so upon completion of the project, we'll submit for reimbursement all at once.
Okay.
I don't expect to submit with every single pay application that we've processed. It would just be overly tedious. There's enough money when the project comes to conclusion to, for those specific components, the state will approve through the grant to be reimbursed to us. So I don't expect to receive that money until 2022.
Awesome, thank you.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the bill list from July 14th, 2021 to August 11th, 2021 in the amount of $3,568, or $438.50.
I'll second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to pay the bill list from July 14th through August 11th in the amount of $3,568,438.50. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. All right, and we had some minutes in our packet from our July 19th regular meeting. If there's any corrections or comments, and if not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 19th, 2021 regular meeting.
I'll second that motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the regular meeting minutes from July 19th. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. There is no public hearing this evening. All right, we tabled the enacting of Ordinance 591 last month to give our folks a chance to reach out to Verizon about cleaning up some aesthetic issues in the township. And so that's back on the agenda. Did we contact Verizon and did they respond?
I did have a chance to speak to our assigned representative. His name is Bob McGuckin, and he was very, energetic and happy to help out as much as he possibly can. He asked that I provide him with a list of some of the items of concern. He did explain that a lot of times you see that rolled up extra length of orange cable. That's called slack wire, and it's supposed to be there in case there's like a settling or something, or the wires spread further apart. So not particularly appealing looking, but apparently not outside how they're supposed to do it. But having said that, whatever issues do exist, he will get right on it.
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion then.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 591, authorizing execution of a cable franchise agreement between Upper Providence Township and Verizon Pennsylvania LLC.
I'll second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to adopt Ordinance 591, authorizing the execution of a cable franchise agreement between Upper Providence Township and Verizon Corporation, LLC. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. All right. Under new business, consider adopting Resolution 2021-40, temporarily permitting the consumption of alcohol at Anderson Farm Park in conjunction with Community Day. Do we have any comments or discussion? I think in the past few years that we've done this. Now, last year, of course, we didn't have Community Day because of COVID, but I don't think there were any issues.
I only have one quick question about that, and that is, who's going to regulate that? Are we leaving that up to the person who's dispensing the alcohol, or are we as the township regulating who comes and goes out of that area?
It's kind of a partnership, John, but the people from, I think Sly Fox, as part of the condition of their liquor license permit, have to engage in that checking, and if there's any issues, we'll certainly be brought in if there's any underage people. But
Okay.
they're the ones that'll be required to card. So.
Yeah, I believe, I think in the past, they check IDs at the entrance, and then they give a wristband to those that are
Under
coming around.
we'll have a community day layout later on my report, but there'll be any consumption of wine and brewed alcoholic beverages will be within a designated fenced area. That's one of the conditions. You just can't go outside the fence area with any open container. So that'll be kept within the framework of that.
Okay.
This is our third year, I think, of this, and we were very nervous the first year. And Chief, I'll ask you, we didn't have any major incidences, did we?
Great.
No.
Okay.
Have we in the past required them to indemnify the township through their insurance? Because they're permitted so many off-premise functions that they can do this at, and are they providing us with indemnification?
Yes, not only for them, but all of our vendors have to sign those indemnifications.
I'm sorry, Tim, I can't hear anything.
The wonderful acoustics in this room. All of our independent contractors have to have a signed indemnification for us, not just Sly Fox, but any of our vendors.
Thanks.
All right. right, if there's no more questions or discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2021-40 to permit temporarily the consumption of wine and brewed alcoholic beverages during the Township's Community Day on Saturday, September 11th. Beverages must be consumed within a designated fenced area at Anderson Farm Park.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2021-40 that will permit temporarily the consumption of wine and brewed alcoholic beverages during the Township's Community Day on Saturday, September 11th, 2021. Beverages must be consumed within a designated fenced area at Anderson Farm Park. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries. Thank you. All right. Consider authorizing the sale of the barn on Taylor property at 432 East Linfield Trap Road on municipbid.com. Actually, one of our supervisors is not here tonight who I know is very interested in this issue, and she is okay with this. I think this was a great solution, actually, and it makes sure that we know the materials, or at least a portion of them, will be recycled. So anyway, if there's...
I do have a question. So how does it work when you do it on municipal? Do you bid it out to the person who's going to dismantle the barn, or what's the process?
Here's how it would go. When the board routinely authorizes staff to sell things on municipal, we, put a description of the item, like you're doing on eBay, you put a description of the item and a couple photographs, and you give it 15 days or 2 weeks, or however long, and people bid it up. With the barn specifically, we would say, we're encouraging the reuse or the outright dismantling and reconstruction of this structure, but to the high bidder, go the spoils, and we give them 60 days or 90 days perhaps. I think we would take the liberty of fencing the area so that it wasn't easily accessible to the public or people that may be walking the property. But we thought in lieu of paying to demolish it, this might be a good way to earn a couple of dollars for it and see that it's repurposed, something better than going in a landfill. Don Kelly, our Assistant Public Works Director, brought to my attention the fact that another town, New Bern Township, just north and west of Reading, auctioned a similar barn. It was a little bit bigger, but it brought $4,500 by the time the auction closed. And it said, just as I described, the bidder has 90 days to come and remove the barn. We encourage you to reuse it or reconstruct it off-site. So we thought it'd be better again than landfilling the structure.
Are we keeping some of the pieces and parts?
I know Sue walked through with some members of the Trapp Historic Society, and they requested, 6 or 7 items that were in the house and or the barn. I'm not sure. I didn't attend, but we are to deliver those to those folks from Trapp Historic Society before it comes down.
Mm-hmm.
Any other discussion or questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion, but first of all, I want to say I'm glad that Lori's not here so I can make that motion, not in front of her.
No, she's okay with this.
She's okay with it, is
Yes,
she, Bill?
I checked,
Okay.
yes.
I make the motion to consider authorizing the sale of the barn on the Taylor property at 432 East Linfield Trap Road on municipbid.com. Sorry, Lori, wherever you are tonight.
I'll second that.
All right. I have a motion and a second to authorize the sale of the barn on the Taylor property at 432 East Linfield Trap Road on municipbid.com. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Okay, and item number 6 was struck from our agenda at the beginning, and now we're going to have some MS4 education.
Okay, tonight, just a brief on your pollution reduction plan.
Turn your mic on, Bill.
Sorry. Tim, next slide, please. We use a lot of terminology in the MS4 program, and these are just a few of them, but pollution reduction plan is a plan that's a key part of the MS4 program, which in our case, it's sediment load that we have to reduce, and that's a PRP. So I'll go on to the next slide. We're trying to keep this short. The streams that are impaired for sediment in the township are the Schoolhouse Run, the Donnybrook, and the Doe Run. Those are the areas that we need to produce this plan for. The plan has been prepared and approved and included a basin at the GSK site, Route 29 and 422. Subsequent to that, we've looked at the stream bank protection up on Greenwood Avenue as a way to solve the sediment load for the township. Next slide, please. Again, these are some typical photos of some streams in the township that you can see that the erosion that takes place along a stream, which carries the sediment load into the Perkiomen in this case. And that's what we're trying to resolve through the MS4 program and reduce that sediment load. In addition to just the erosion of the banks, the sediment load is also from silt from farm fields. It's silt that's added to the roadway also. Those are the items that are being reduced. Next slide, please. The pollution reduction plan is a DEP requirement. Again, the plan that's been approved for the township is the sediment basin at Route 29 and 422 on the GSK property. But we are looking at an alternative for that, and that's the stream bank restoration up on Greenwood Avenue, which DEP just about 2 weeks ago, I guess, just before the municipal authority meeting, they came back with an affirmative position on that would qualify. So we can move forward with that project in conjunction with the developments up on Greenwood Avenue, and that should be a significant savings to the township in overall dollars. Next slide, please. Any questions? I try to be.
Thank you. I have a question, Bill. Those pictures that we saw there before, are any of those of Doe Run? Thank you for putting that up there.
I don't believe those are Dole Run. I think they're the Schoolhouse Run, I believe is
Is
where
that
they
what it
are.
is? And the reason that I ask is because the one on the bottom left looks a lot like pieces of Doe Run. And I was wondering, because of the Perkiomen flows there, almost flows back up that thing, how do you fix that and have it stable when the next flood comes down and it kind of erodes it just the way that it looks there?
Streams will erode and do what they want. What you do is you knock the banks back, you flatten out the banks, you create what used to be the legacy floodplain area, supposedly, instead of the eroded channel, is what you attempt to do. The challenge is, will you be able to stabilize that area before the next storm comes?
Right.
You know, like it's, part of the DEP requirement is going to be ongoing maintenance of the stream bank up along Greenwood Avenue. So if they come out and they see a picture like this 3 years from now, you're going to be required to restore that back to the way the quote design was, the level floodplain area. So it is an ongoing situation up there with any stream bank restoration project. You're going to have to maintain them. So there is an ongoing cost. It's not just a one-time cost.
Well, it just worries me that the township will be spending funds on fixing things like this only for the next storm to come through and waste all that money that goes right down the stream.
That's a possibility. I guess you've seen that with the regional authority project a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
They come-
exactly, and
they
that's
come
why
through and,
I probably know a little better than these guys do,
you know,
yeah.
you've seen them there one day working hard, and the next day all their work is gone.
It's gone.
Understood.
Well, we did see, I think it was a couple of meetings back, how they do this bank stabilization. But I
Right.
agree, none of us can predict the weather if we can't get the plants growing in time to, you know, but hopefully.
All right, just a question.
I hear you.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it is a challenge. All right. Okay, road tour confirmation, Tim?
Yeah, I just talked to Tom today, and if all the board members can get on your calendar, I think we confirmed this at a prior meeting, but we rented a 12-passenger van for September 1st. Hopefully, we'll have some good weather. We're going to be meeting here at 1 o'clock. Tom and I are compiling, unless we say road tour, but we'd like to maybe take you around to some of our parks and look at a couple of our trail projects. I think Tom wants to take us down, show us the progress at the Montclair Jacob Street project and also the Walnut Street project that we'd like to do in the next couple of years. Also give you a briefing on the Tindy Run Sewer project. Hopefully won't take more than 2 or 3 hours of your afternoon, but Al, I don't know if Al would like to drive this. You drove last time, so. If there are any particular sites, you could easily spend a whole day on this. If there's any particular site that the board would like us to see, we'd be happy to take you down. So, next item is Community Day update. This is just a general layout, just to remind, this is our last meeting before our Community Day on September 11th. This year, it's kind of an abridged affair. Will be it'll be set between 10 and 2 o'clock p.m. We've changed a little bit of the layout. Right here is Hopwood Road. We're going to be doing the parking in this area. People will be walking up through here. A lot of the venues will be here in the soccer fields, and the outdoor expos will be outside. I'm kind of, in hindsight, we're kind of glad that we're doing it outside. I think we're following very carefully some of the resurgence in the Delta cases. Where right now we had a robust discussion at our staff meeting whether we need to do any additional precautions. Right now we're adhering to the CDC regulations. A lot of these things will be outside. We are giving some tours. We would like to encourage people who would like to see the new rebranded community center and the new fitness area. Certainly are trying to give special tours as far as marketing. It's not on the size of past community days, but we wanted to at least do something because last year we canceled it entirely. So hopefully for good weather.
Is that the,
We're doing fireworks, aren't we?
No fireworks this year.
Oh, really?
is that what they're putting in?
I should know that.
Tim, where did you say the expo was going to be?
Kind of in here, this area, right? This general area outside.
Oh, okay.
So, in prior years, we've been in the gym, and I'm kind of glad we're not inside. I mean, that
Yeah.
wasn't the plan, but given some of the new regulations for in-house.
So will there be a tent, or will there be?
There'll be some tents
people
and some
expect them to
other,
bring their own?
there'll be some other venues and tents available, so. And I think the people who have rented exhibits will be bringing their own tent for
Okay.
the various for-profit and nonprofit people.
Hope for good weather,
Yep.
everybody. All right. Consultant reports, engineering and capital improvement project updates.
Just briefly, Caroline Drive Storm Sewer Project, the contractor has left the site for a couple weeks till we get a conflict utility resolution with PECO. PECO's got some wires in the way down there, and we're working with the PECO subcontractors to try to get that resolved so that project can move forward. The paving projects are both scheduled for late September, early October this year. So right now they're doing the handicap ramps on those projects. And the Tindy Run Sewer Project, we anticipate bids available for your consideration at your October meeting.
Great.
You will see some activities out there for some borings. We're going to do test borings for rocks, so we have more information for the bidders. So hopefully they'll be able to sharpen their pencils in terms of giving you a good bid. So there'll be a couple days of a boring contractor drilling some holes in your roadways and so on out there.
Good. Bill, I know this isn't our project or our trail, but is the Perkiomen Trail open?
The Perkiomen Trail is not open. The LPVRSA is working with their contractor to get that open, and the Montgomery County Parks Department. The contractor's latest update as of this afternoon was they anticipate having their slope work done next week. So I would anticipate maybe late next week, but, you know, that depends on the weather too. If we get some weather this week, it could be delayed.
Who's going to eat the cost of this?
The regional authority will probably be negotiating with the contractor on this item, you know, in terms of where this goes. There's a difference of opinion on it at this point. I'll leave it at that.
Can we involve the county on that also, I hope?
I don't know if the county will be involved with the cost or anything like that, you know, if that's what you mean, or, John, I don't know. It'd be just between the regional authority and the contractor in terms of dollars and cents. The county wouldn't be participating in any way, I don't think. But you can have a say down at the regional authority.
Thank you, Bill.
I will.
Solicitor's report, we have an interesting item under,
Bill, I had one,
oh, do you?
One
Go ahead,
item.
Casey, I'm sorry.
as the other engineer.
Yes.
The other engineer. Just happy to report the CFA DCED grant went in the end of last month.
Good.
We had a lot of great support from our surrounding municipalities. We got letters from Phoenixville and Trapp Borough, in addition to the Greater Valley Forge TMA, the county, PennDOT even wrote one, plus your state reps and the senator, this is just a reminder to contact them. The full application the township has on file, so if you'd like to see the application itself, have a copy of that, make those phone calls to the state reps and the senator. That will help, again, in that urgency. But I thought that the application turned out great with all the letters of support that the township got. Everybody was super excited about the project, so that's a good thing. Right. And then also, between last meeting and this meeting, the slower speeds and signs went up on the Rittenhouse Road curves. So Public Works just got them up in the last week or so. Okay. All right?
You were talking about the Dry Billis, Second Avenue. That
Yes.
First one. What was the acronym you used for it?
The what? Acronym? So it's CFA. It's that stands for the Commonwealth Finance Authority.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure we're talking about the same one.
Yep,
All right.
same one. I should have said multimodal grant.
That's all
There
right.
you go.
Thank you, Casey. All right, Joe.
This one, not a big dollar impact on the township. Sort of interesting. These come along from time to time. There's a private residence that has been converted to house an individual who has special needs and then has people who support them, and it's a funded effort, and the building is owned by a nonprofit, so they are, it becomes what's called a group home, even though it's only really one or two people, but that's the name that's assigned to it. And then they have to demonstrate that they are exempt from taxation, because being a nonprofit has you most of the way there, but you still have to prove the state criteria for tax exemption. And I'll just touch base with the school district solicitor. They usually take the laboring oar on tax challenges, and I'll see whether they have an interest in participating.
So this property is owned by a 503?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. And now supervisors' comments, and let's roll to the next slide there real quick. All right, I want to congratulate our Upper Providence Little League, Pennsylvania State Champs, and now Mid-Atlantic Regional Champs as of Saturday. And their next game is on ESPN at 1 o'clock this Friday. And I don't want to say any more, so now take it off. Take it off. Okay. All right. No jinx. But congratulations. And these young men represent us so well. If you've read anything about them, they're wonderful, wonderful fellows. Go ahead, guys.
Nobody has a book in Laurie's honor? No.
I did actually just read one called The Personal Librarian, which is a fantastic book.
There you go.
I'd like to give a shout out to Sarah Sabo. She's with our Park and Rec. I hope I got Sarah's last name correct. She was a big help with the Schuylkill River Sojourn, helping out the Schuylkill Canal Association, who we contribute to. The Schuylkill River Heritage Area is involved in this thing. It's a big thing. It happens every year. Sarah was very instrumental in representing the township there. It's the first time that in a long time that I've seen the township get this involved, and I was real happy to see that. We should do that every year. The Sojourn comes through every June. This is a little bit late this year because of the COVID, but I'd like to see the township continue and even maybe expand on that and get involved with the Canal Day. The canal is one of the biggest used parks in the township. We don't own it, but it's one of the biggest used facilities in the township, and I'd like us to continue to support it in any way. And again, a big shout out to Sarah for all of her help in this.
All right, if there's no more comments, I'll quickly do the upcoming events. Next two Board of Supervisors meetings are September 20th and October 18th, 7 p.m. as usual. We have a Planning Commission meeting on August 18th and another one scheduled for September 1st. Our next Park and Recreation meeting is September 8th at 6 p.m. Our Municipal Authority, October 7th at 7 p.m. And the Zoning Hearing Board has two hearings scheduled, August 24th and August 25th. And you can look at the agenda to see what applications those are. So if there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second that?
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.